Chapter 1661. Ito Uehiko couldn't understand why Alex came here, and Tanaka couldn't understand even more. After all, in his impression, Alex's identity is just Daisa's coach, a local master in Oris Hill, but why did he suddenly appear in Beijing, and also in the meeting room of Suki Pharmaceutical? What is even more confusing is why Alex said he is a major shareholder of Suki Pharmaceutical. At this time, Ito's expression was a bit ugly. On the way he came, he heard Tanaka talk about Alex. In fact, he was very disdainful of such so-called masters, so he didn't take him to heart. So he observed at Alex and shouted in a cold voice, "Boy, you must consider the consequences before speaking. You can't afford the price off talking about it." Alex didn't know Ito Takehiko. Seeing that this man looked like he was about 50 years old, with a big back, his expression and tone were very arrogant, and he suddenly felt a little dissatisfied. He observed at Ito Takehiko, and said coldly, "Don't think you can pretend to be aggressive when you are old, and you will hit me if you get angry." When did Takehiko Ito feel so angry? Even the current Yamaguchi Group's 7th generation must be respectful when meeting him. In this country, no one dares to talk to him like that. As a result, Takehiko Ito was immediately furious, pointed at the two bodyguards beside him, and shouted angrily, "Teach him a lesson." As soon as the voice fell, the two people who had not moved like a mountain immediately rushed to Alex. They are all top masters, and different from the competition-type players like Yamamoto Kazuki, they are all real combat players, really hands-on. There may not be any good-looking tricks and postures, but they are absolutely lethal. The two of them let out a low growl, all the strength of their bodies was raised, and they immediately attacked Alex. Seeing these two people rushing towards Alex, Tanaka became tense. He was not worried about Alex, but about the two personal bodyguards of Ito Takehiko. He had seen it with his own eyes at that time, how Alex used a palm to destroy Yamamoto Kazuki, and Yamamoto Kazuki was a scam without fighting power in front of him. No matter how strong these two bodyguards are, they can't be several times stronger than Kazuki Yamamoto, right? For Alex, it could be done in just a few palms. At this moment, the two bodyguards had already rushed to Alex, one on the left and the other on the right, hitting both sides of Alex's ribs with heavy punches. The ribs on both sides are one of the weakest parts of an adult's body. The ribs are not as hard as a skull, and they are extremely prone to breakage when hit from the side. If the ribs are broken from the side, the broken ribs themselves will also become a sharp blade pierce the victim's body. The ribs protect the most important internal organs. Once a broken rib pierces the internal organs, it is extremely easy to cause severe internal bleeding, which may directly kill the other party. This kind of cruel trick is almost lethal. Alex couldn't help narrowing his eyes slightly. In ordinary conflicts, very few people come up and use such insidious tricks, either running their faces or running their limbs. Even if they abolish all limbs, they will not kill others. But he didn't expect that these two men would be so insidious that they wanted to kill him if he didn't agree with them. Looking at it this way, don't know how many people have already lost their lives. Moreover, these two people know how to use hands, and it seems that they are also a good practice. So Alex sneered, and at the moment when the two fists were about to hit his ribs on both sides, he suddenly stretched out his hand and grabbed the wrists of the two at extremely fast speed.